Rivalry week, so it's back on. It's been a couple years in the regular season since we've played, and it's up at our place, obviously. So excited about that. Should be a great crowd. Should be a great atmosphere, and our guys will be ready. There's no doubt about that. Their guys will be ready. We're sure of that as well, and should make for a great game like it traditionally has been. I think we played solid in all three position groups: front, secondary, and linebacker. They did a really nice job of trying to get the ball out of their hand quick with the quarterback, which I think maybe too quick at times and led to some inefficiencies in their throw game. But I think our front played solid. Not as dominating as we can be up front on defense, but a good start to the season. Pleased with the young linebacker, not young, but inexperienced linebackers. Sunia and Cody, I think, were 1 and 2 in tackling on the team. And the secondary did a nice job. We had very few issues in the back end. So I think it was a combination of all three position groups just playing solid. Well, I consider Kalani a close friend. I mean, there's a few people in this profession that I consider close friends. He's one of them, and I don't think it has any bearing on the game itself or any of that type of thing. But he's a guy that was with me when I first got the job. He was one of my first hires, and did a great job for us while he was here, and I'm sure he's going to do a great job down there. He's off to a good start. We talk a little bit of ball, but not a whole lot. It's more about family and what's going on in their lives and that type of thing. But the Kalani being the head coach of the rival school doesn't impact my relationship with him at all. I mean, I still have the utmost respect for him, and like I said, it's just feel the friendship is solid, and I expect that to continue. Well, as far as the feel for me personally, in conference, out of conference, really no difference. I mean, it's the rivalry game, and it doesn't have conference implications, obviously, but it's every bit as intense. And I think that maybe there's been a little bit of a change in the venom in the game. I don't know. You'd have to. It's more of a fan question than for me, but. Taking those 2 years off, that had probably had more of an impact than not being in the same conference. Yeah, I've seen the film, quite a few hours of the film. Offensively, they're very balanced. 21's a very good player. He was the workhorse, carried the ball nearly 30 times. Taysom did a nice job running the offense. Over 200 rushing, over 200 throwing. Like I said, balance, and that to me, that's key to being effective on offense, is having balance. Offensive line played pretty good, and defensively, they got after it. They played hard on defense, held Arizona down. And the thing, they controlled the ball offensively. They didn't give Arizona a lot of snaps. I think Arizona was 45, 50 snaps, something like that, and that's not their formula. That's not how they win. And so they did a nice job of keeping that offense on the sidelines. Very similar to what I anticipated, and thought he did a nice job with his play calling. I'm sure they're glad that Taysom's back, even though they got another outstanding quarterback as well. But I think they did a very nice job utilizing personnel groups, keeping Arizona off balance, and high percentage. They're very high percentage offense. They're particularly in the throw game, a lot of high percentage stuff, that's great. Tough runner, physical runner. He's got size, he's got speed. He runs with a great deal of violence. He's a guy that he runs like a running back is supposed to run. And he had a very good game, obviously, against Arizona. A bunch of carries, and like I said, he was the focal point of the offense. Oh, it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, the schemes are completely different on both sides of the ball, and well, not completely different, but dramatically different. And we're putting, and obviously we know we're going to see things that we didn't see on the film against Arizona. I mean, everyone's going to tailor their game plan to the upcoming opponent, and so we know teams like to do against us. We play a lot of man coverage, and therefore there's a lot of man beaters in the throw game and things like that. So we're fairly certain that there's going to be a fair amount of new stuff and change from what they did against Arizona, who's a primary 3-3 front and a whole different animal on defense than what we are. He has some insight that we obviously don't have, being around him for the last few years, and has more of a more the things that you couldn't possibly know. What type of practice player they are, what their mentality and what may bother him, what may not bother him as far as press technique or playing off, that type of thing. No concerns, because I know they're a prideful group, and they'll rebound and they'll play well, and so I've got a lot of confidence in those guys, and they're good players, and my guess is they're going to prepare very well this week and be ready to play on Saturday. Yeah, we'll give the other guys turns, and we just, like I said at the very beginning, we weren't physical enough up front or running the football. We didn't run with enough reckless abandon. We got to run like we can't be tackled, not like we're waiting to be tackled. Not really. Particularly when they're in the same conference, no, because you want to win the conference, and now, but the dynamic with Kalani there is different. But I'm really immersed in the Pac-12, and other than when we play them, I'm completely immersed in the Pac-12 stuff, because that's who we got to beat and the conference that we're in.